Our speaker this evening started it at the University of Minnesota in 2007 under Coach Munson, right?
Yep.
And finished up the year, I guess, under Coach Molinari, and then had 3 years with Coach Smith, Tubby Smith. Damian had a very, very good career at the U. He was known as a defensive stopper and a rebounder. Went on to have a stint in the pros overseas, and back here now, and he's been coaching. He coached assistant coach at Eden Prairie, and then now he's been a coach for what? This is your third year at North St. Paul. And what caught my attention this year, some of you might have seen it earlier, but two things have happened here. But one, here was an article in the paper, or picked up online, I'm not sure, that talked about Damian, what he's doing with his players. On game day, he has them dress up in a tie, right?
Yep.
So they dress up and they do this, and you can imagine, I mean, these are high school kids, they're not gonna do that. But it's all part of the team and part of the spirit there, and I commend you for that, Damian. And then I have a grandson that plays for Edina, and North St. Paul played them. And I got a chance to see Damian coach, and he had a number of players out for various reasons. But they were disciplined, they played hard the whole game, and I think this guy's got a big future in coaching ahead of him. And here to tell your story, Damian Johnson.
Thank you, Dad. I'm kind of upset he brought that Edina game up because we lost, and it was a game, you know, we were leading for majority of the game and we kind of ran out of gas. We had a lot of young guys playing, but yeah, I really enjoyed getting a chance to coach, and you know, just being able to coach gave me an opportunity to understand how grateful we are for guys like you in the room, where beforehand as a player, I didn't understand how much you guys do for us as players, and I think a lot of those guys that's going to play today don't understand that you guys really help us function, and you guys just having that support and just having people in your corner, it really goes a long ways. And like he said, I had a stint in the pros. You know, my first year, I got an opportunity to play in Japan, and it was a weird town. You know, I was the only guy that spoke English there. Well, me and a couple of my teammates, and we would go to the grocery store and just getting a chance to buy something as simple as hamburger meat. We couldn't tell if it was pork, beef. We couldn't figure anything else. So just being able to get opportunities and learn from people, you know, we finally got a translator there. So everywhere we went, we always had a translator with us, and we were just giants out there. You know, we're the tallest guys there. We couldn't find clothes that fit. So, you know, that first year kind of helped me understand how grateful I should be for being able to play Division I athletics in a conference like the Big Ten, and how much you guys as the Golden Dunkers and just boosters in general do for the program and help provide it. And I'm trying to instill that same thing into my players. You know, 2 weeks ago, right after the new year, the first thing we did when everybody got back is wrote thank you cards to all their teachers. You know, just let them know that we're thankful to have people that's going to be there to help us out. And we're thankful for teachers that want to, because teaching is a hard job. I'm working in the school building, and I hope I wasn't as bad as some of these kids, you know. I hope I wasn't like some of the kids we have, but like it's tough every day for a teacher to wake up every morning and know that they might not get through to every kid, but hopefully they got this one kid that they can get through to, and they can change the impact of a young person's life. And being able to impact young people is great, you know. Like Paul said, we dress up on game days, and one of the first team bonding events was for the team to teach me how to tie a tie. So I got everyone to, you know, I got one person to teach them how to tie ties. We was trying to do a double Windsor. That's not my specialty. I'm good at a single, but I got those guys to teach me. Now I'm perfecting ties, and they're perfecting it. So. And we got a lot of donations, and that was great. And they just saw how much people care if you ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help at times when you need it. And a lot of kids right now, social media is something that's that gives kids a lot of opportunity to see the good and the bad. So they got a lot of stuff going through their minds, and being able to find someone in that support system and that help is great. And I have a lot of kids in my school that, they got a lot of different issues where they wish they could have support consistently, but sometimes they might not get attention or might not get stuff, but only at school. So being able to work with young people and impact their lives is great. And I really enjoy it. And just seeing so many young people in this room, I feel like I'm finally able to talk in front of a whole bunch of people closer to my age, because I'm always talking to high school kids, and I just really enjoy being able to have this opportunity. Right now, coaching, our team started off, we played Minnehaha there. That was a tough game. Right now, Eden Prairie, which was my old school, they're undefeated. They're the #1 team in the state. We started off with Cretan also. We had a tough schedule. We played a lot of teams with Division I players, a lot of top teams. And one of my players asked me, why would you schedule this schedule so hard, knowing that we had most of the guys that were playing varsity for the first time? And the response I had was, why not? Why not challenge each other? Why not challenge yourself to become better? And I think it's working out well now. We won 5 out of our last 6. We're on a 4-game winning streak. We got our big matchup against Tartan coming up on Tuesday. The guys, we just beat Wayzata this past week, which has a Division I player and a couple good young players. So we're getting better, and you can see the improvement. And I feel like if we played a soft schedule, if we were undefeated, I don't think we'll be in this same position. I think we got a chance to really upset teams when it comes to going to sections and state. And as a coach, that's great. Because, they had nights I couldn't sleep because we were losing. But then I thought about, well, if I'm struggling to sleep, I know my players struggling to sleep. So I need to come back the next morning and just have good energy, smile, and pretend I'm happy with what we're doing right now. And I'm watching those guys play for the U of M, and they started off, they lost some games against good teams, but they were competitive in each game. And I see a lot, to me, and I'll say this before the season, I still think this team has an opportunity to do exactly what they did last year, if not go further, once they begin to gel. And I'm watching players get better each game. I'm thinking, like Marcus Carr, if we had him last year, telling how far we could have gone. It would have gave Amir a chance to do more off the ball. And I've seen him this year. I just love his energy. I just love his competitiveness. And he just gets the guys the ball in the right spots. And I think if he could he could slow down sometimes, control those turnovers in certain situations, I think this team could have a chance to finish top 5 in the Big Ten. It's pretty open this year. Ohio State at one point I thought was hands down the best. Then they came here and we beat them pretty easily. So I think it's a good year for the program, and I just enjoy watching these guys play. Coach Patino has these guys really competing, and I just love how watching the Coach Lindstad speak. I just love how honest the coaching staff is with the fans and with everyone. They're very open and honest. I love this staff right now. I think they got potential to do some big things with the program. I don't know if y'all wanted me to speak more, but I got my son back here. He's over there reading. I love watching him read right now. Yeah, just as a coach, another thing that I kind of appreciate is my wife is able to handle me coaching. I didn't think high school coaching would take so much time out of your day. She's at home with my son and my 3 little girls who I know they gotta drive her crazy, because as soon as I get home, they nonstop, they're always going. So I love to have support is a big thing. And that's something I'm gonna keep preaching to my kids, keep preaching to my players, and I just want everybody to know that if you got a chance to support and provide that backup for kids, I think it goes a long way, because a lot of kids wish they had more people to support them. And I really didn't understand until now while I'm done playing. And I just, speaking, I still get a chance to speak with former coaches all the time. Coach Jersa was just here 3 months ago, checking out players, wanted to go out to eat. He sent me a whole playbook of their plays they're running. So it's just great to have that. And maybe because I was a nice kid, I wasn't the most well-behaved all the time, but I was a nice kid and I always respected everyone, and I think that probably helped. It made it easier for people to want to help me. But even the kids that aren't always respectful, I think sometimes you gotta just get a chance to understand what they're going through. I just had a kid recently, he was going to quit the team, but I was trying to figure out why, because he's a kid I love, but he just said he's got so much issues going on at home, and it's tough for him to just focus on basketball. And right now I'm just trying to do different things, trying to help him find a job, and just trying to help him find different avenues so he can get that support and get right back on the right track. I told him, if you need to sit out the rest of the season and come back and play next year, that's fine, but I'm gonna still be there to help you any way possible. And I just offered him different avenues where I could help him, and if he, Monday we're gonna have a nice sit down and we're gonna try to figure that out. But I just want to see him graduate and get a chance to do whatever he can. And Friday we had a player that I just helped get to a junior college. He didn't graduate on time, and I told him, just finish your classes, I'll help you get somewhere. And he just came, surprised me out the blue. I was walking in the hallways, and he just ran up and gave me a hug, and he said, I'm going to school tomorrow, thank you so much. And just hearing the kids say that to me, it's just a blessing. I just love being able to coach and help young people out.